everyone, welcome to ACE Online. So in today's video, we are going to continue our practice set, and this is your practice set number 15. Here we are practicing for the examination LIC AAO. So don't forget to share the link of the session in your respective groups so that more students can join this video, this session, and they will also practice while we are solving or we are discussing all these type of questions. So without wasting more time, let's start with the very first question. So here we are having this question, and if you remember, we were having this particular question in our practice set number 13, and this question is for your homework only, right? Now in this video, first we are going to discuss this particular question, and after that only we will discuss the rest question. Is it clear? Okay. So the question says that A invested a sum in scheme P on SI, that means on simple interest, per annum at the rate of 10% for first year, 12% for second year, and 14% for third year, and B invested 75% more sum than A in scheme B on CI, that means on compound interest, per annum at the rate of 20% per annum for 2 years. Okay. If B got 4,264 rupees interest more than the interest earned by A, then find 20% of the sum invested by B in rupees. Basically, first what we have to calculate? First we have to calculate the amount invested by B, and after that we have to find out the 20% of that specific amount. Is it clear? Okay. Now here we are having two schemes. Here we are having two schemes. Scheme P and scheme Q. Right? In scheme P, a man invested some amount. We don't know which amount or how much amount he invested in this scheme P. So we just simply assumed it maybe at X or maybe at SP, right? Okay. But the question says that for the first year, he is getting an interest of 10%. For the second year, he is getting an interest of 12%, and for the third year he is getting interest of 14%. Is it clear? Now in scheme P he is getting interest on according to SI. According to SI, that means on simple interest. Scheme P runs on simple interest while scheme Q runs on compound interest. Okay. Now we all know that whenever we talk about simple interest, the principal will always remain same, and the interest that we are getting is completely dependent on the rate and the year, right? So here we are getting 10% interest for first year. In the next year, a duration of a single year from the second starting till third starting, we are getting interest of 12%, and here we are getting 14%. So in short, I can say that in scheme P, in short, I am total getting 36% of interest. I am getting 36% of interest in total in these 3 years, right? Okay. Because I know that this interest I am getting is totally dependent on what? On rate and on time. Is it clear? Okay. Now scheme P. Now scheme P says that here the amount, the percent on which this interest is going to be will remain same, that is 20%. But we know that whenever we talk about CI, that means compound interest, we are getting interest on the interest that we got in the previous year, right? So here the principal will always, or we can say the principal is continuously changing. So here for the 2 years, the amount of interest that we are getting in complete 2 years, because here the time period is for 2 years. So we can say that here 20 plus 20 plus minus, here we are not going to subtract it. So we just simply write it like this only. 20 into 20 divided by 100. Basically, it will give me the combined rate that I have to apply or on scheme Q for 2 years. So here I am getting 40 plus, here these two zeros are eliminated by these two zeros, and here I am getting 4. So ultimately I am getting 44%. Ultimately I am getting 44% of interest or on this scheme number Q. But here, what we need to find out, I need to find out the sum, right? What I need to find out? I need to find out the principal value, okay? So for this particular question, we just simply assume that the amount invested, the principal invested in scheme P is X. We just assume that principal invested in scheme P is X. We just simply assumed it, right? We just simply assumed it. Now, the question says what? Question says that B invested 75% more sum than A in scheme Q, and because of that he is getting this much amount more than which A is getting. So according to the question, we can say that for the B, here he invested 175%. 75% more, so 100 plus 75, it will become 175, and we invested this amount on the combined value of 44%. On 44%. So basically this is the complete value that B, we are having what? AB. Okay, this is the complete value that B is getting because of scheme Q. Because of scheme Q, right? Okay. And when we subtract the amount getting by A in scheme P, this is in scheme P, the difference that we are getting is equals to 4264. 4264. Now what we have to do? We have to solve it simply. Now we know that these terms are on the multiple of what? 25. These terms are present on the multiple of 25. So here we can say that 25 into 4, that is 100. Here what we are having? Here we are having 25 into 8, that is 200. That means here we are having 7, right? Okay. Now when we eliminate these two terms, here we are getting 11. Is it clear? Okay. So we can say that here, we can say that 7 into 11, that is 77. So 77x divided by 100 minus 36x divided by 100 is equals to 4264. This is the term that we are getting. Now, when we subtract these terms, here I am getting 41x divided by 100. And here we are having 4264. Here we are having 4264. And when I solve this particular term, here what we are getting, when we subtract these two terms, we are getting 104. And this 100 is shifted to this place, so we put 2 zeros over here. So here we are getting the value of x. But this is not the complete answer. Here what we need to find out? We need to find out the 20% of the amount invested by B. So here we assume X as the amount invested by P. So first we have to calculate the 175% of this value, and after that we have to calculate the 20% of that specific value, right? So this is what? This is the principal invested by. Principal invested by P. Right? Now, what we are going to do? We are going to calculate the principal invested by Q, right? And that is what? That is the 75% more than this amount. So we can say that Q invested 10400 into 175, because we have to calculate what? We have to calculate 75, or we have to add 75% of this value, and we have to add that value in this one. So ultimately we have to do this. So here what I am getting? I am getting 104 into 175. This is what that we are getting, right? So when we multiply this, here we are having 2 and 28, 30, so 3 and the 7. So here we are getting this one. 18,200. This is the amount invested by Q. This is what? This is the amount invested by Q. But again, this is not the complete answer. Now, what we have to do? We have to calculate 20% of this amount. So, if we have to calculate 20% of this amount, so we just simply write it like this. Or you can also do one thing. You can just simply multiply this term by 20 by 100 and you will get your answer, right? So here we can know that these two zero and these two zeros are eliminated. So basically here we are getting 3640 rupees. Here we are getting 3640 rupees. Do we have this number in our option? Yes. So basically option number A is the correct one. Option number A is the correct one. This is a simple question, although we need to calculate few things, but you can also do one thing. Instead of doing this, you can just simply find out the amount that you are getting from first year, second year, third year individually, and then just simply add it. After that also you will get the same value. So instead of doing the separate calculation, we just simply combine it, because we know that whenever we talk about the simple interest, the amount that we are getting, the interest that we are getting is totally depends on what? On the rate and on the time, because the principal will always remains same. Is it clear? Okay. Now let's move towards the next question and let's see what is the next question we are having. So the next question says that 4 years ago, the ratio of the ages of A and B was 13:9, and 8 years hence, it would be 4:3. The difference of their ages 4 years hence will be, and what we have to do? We have to find out the answer in years. Basically, there's a small concept that we have to apply whenever we are having problems based on the ages. Is it clear? So this is simple clue that you need to apply, and after that you will easily able to find out the correct answer. Here we are having two words. The first is ago and the second word is hence. So here we use ago to indicate the past, and hence it indicates our future. It indicates our future. Here we are having two participants, A and B. Here we are having two participants, A and B. And we can say that here, 4 years ago, the ratio of ages of A and B is 13:9. This is the ratio that I am having 4 years ago. So here I am writing 4 years ago. Okay. Now, if on the basis of ratio only, if I want to find out the difference in between these two, A and B, So I can say that here I am getting a difference of 4 in the terms of ratio only. So whatever on whatever multiple this ratio is present, the difference is also present and on that particular multiple, right? So here I can say that here I am getting a difference of 4. Here I am getting a difference of 4. Okay. Now 8-year hence. Okay. So that means if this is present, here we go in the past. Now we are talking about the future. 8-year hence. Right? 8-year hence. The ratio will become 4:3. The ratio will become 4:3. Okay. Now, if I find out again, if I have to find out the difference in between these two A and B in the terms of ratio only, here I am getting a difference that is equals to 1. Now, just simply think, is it possible? If the difference between you and your father is like 20 years old right now, so before 5 years it is equals to 20. After 10 or 15 years it always remains 20 because you are also growing, he is also growing, right? So whenever we are having the questions from the concept of age, we have to maintain the single thing is this one. The age difference between two people will always remain same. So here what we need to do, first we need to make this value as 4 so that we can easily compare these ratios. So for that, what I am going to do, I am just going to multiply this ratio by 4. What I am going to do, I am just going to multiply this ratio by 4, and because of that here I am getting my new ratio is 16:12. Here I am getting my new ratio is 16:12. Now, if I have to find out the difference, here I can say that here I am having a difference of 3 and here also I am having a difference of 3. Okay. So basically in these two, I am having a difference of 3 in between these ratio. But why I am getting this difference? I am getting this difference of 3 because of this gap. Because of this gap. So plus 4 and plus 8, that means I am getting this difference of 3 because of this 12 years. The range of these 12 years. So basically the value of 3 over here is equals to what? Is equals to 12. That means this value 1 is on the multiple of 4. So here all these values are present on the multiple of 4. Now, what we have to find out? We have to find out the difference of their ages 4 years hence. We know that the age difference will always remain same no matter whenever we have to find out or at what time we will find out. So the age difference is equals to 4. So we just simply multiply it by 4 and here we are getting our answer as 16 years. The age difference between A and B is nothing but 16 years. If you want to check this one, you can also do that. Here, first we just simply calculate these value. So here we are having A ratio B and the ratio is 13:9, right? 13:9. Now I know that these values are present on the multiple of what? On the multiple of 4. These values are present on the multiple of 4. Is it clear? Okay. So here what I am getting? I am getting 42 over here. Here I am getting 36. Is it clear? Okay. Now what I have to do? I have to find out the 4-year hence. This is what? This is my present age. This is my present age. Is it clear? Sorry. Here we are having 52, not 42. Here we are having 52. This is what? This is my present age. But I have to find out after 4 years. So I need to add plus 4 in this one. So here this value will become 40 and here this will become 56. And if you will find out the difference in between these two, it will again remain same, that is equals to 60. Will remain equals to 60. So whenever we are having questions from this concept, the concept of ages, we have to take care of this point that the difference between two specific people will always remain same. The difference of the ages of two specific people will always remain same. Is it clear? Okay. Next question. So here we are having our next question, and the next question says that Manik has a total of 20 red and blue marbles in 2 bags. Each bag has marbles of both colors. A marble is randomly drawn from the first bag, followed by another randomly drawn from the second bag. The probability of both being red is 5 by 16. What is the probability of both marbles being blue? Here the specific number is not given, but this question simply says you that here in a bag we are having 20 marbles, and in that 20 marbles we are having few red marbles and we are having few blue marbles. Now you are having 2 bags as well, and you have to draw the marble from each bag simultaneously, right? Or we can say that randomly. So you have to find out the probability where we will get both the marbles as blue. Both the marbles as blue. This is what that you need to find out. So just simply try to figure out how we are going to solve this particular question. Because in this question we have to use our common sense, because a specific amount or the specific number is not given. So we have to make our calculation, or if we are going to bifurcate the numbers, we have to bifurcate it accordingly. As we know that here the probability can't be 1, because in a bag we are having both the colors. We are having 2 bags, right? We are having 2 bags, and in both the bags we are having both the colors, right? So we know that probability of getting both the marbles as blue or whatever color, maybe it's red, it can't be 1, right? Probability can't be 1. We know that fact. Probability can't be 1. And why probability can't be 1? Because here we are getting this one. Here we already have this value, so we can easily say that probability can't be 1. Okay. But the question says that, question is giving us hint. The question says that the probability of getting both being red is nothing but is equals to 5 by 16. Is equals to 5 by 16, okay? But here this is a combined probability. This is the combined probability that we are getting both as red balls, okay? So if I want to bifurcate it, so I can just simply bifurcate it as 5 by 8 and 1 by 2. I can just simply bifurcate it as 5 by 8 and 1 by 2. Why I am bifurcating it like this only? Because I am having no other option. If I will break it like 5 by 4 and like 1 by 4, that can't be possible, because here we know that the maximum value can be 1 only. So we should have to keep the numerator lesser than the denominator. So this is the only option that I can do, okay? So from this one, we can say that this is the probability of getting red ball from bag first or bag 1, right? And we can just simply say that this is the probability of getting red ball from bag 2. Is it clear? Okay. So if these are the probability of getting red ball or the red marble, instead of ball you can just simply write marble. because we are having marble, right? Marble. Now, if this is the probability of getting red marble from bag 1, so we can just simply subtract it from the 1, so that we will get the probability of getting a blue marble from bag 1. So if we have to find out the probability of getting blue marble from bag 1 is calculated by 1 minus the thing that we don't want, that is 5 by 8. That means the probability that we are getting is 3 by 8. So this is what? This is the probability of getting blue marble from bag 1 only. Is it clear? Okay. Now, we have to find out what? We have to find out the probability of getting blue marble from bag 2 also. And why we want it? Because we want both marbles as blue. So for this one, what we can write? We can just simply write here the probability getting blue marble from bag 2 is nothing but total minus this one, the thing that we don't want, is 1 by 2. That means again we are getting 1 by 2. So as we are getting two different probabilities, and what we need to do, we need to find out the combined probability. So we can say that the probability of getting both marbles as blue is nothing but here 3 by 8 multiplied by 1 by 2, and ultimately what we are getting? We are getting 3 by 16 as our answer. We are getting 3 by 16 as our answer. That means our option number C is the correct one. Option number C is the correct one. So whenever we are having these type of question, we have to think accordingly. Now, I know that most of the people or the most of the student will did the same mistake. Here we are having 5 by 16 as our probability of getting both as red marble. So they are bifurcating it like this one. They are just thinking, ma'am, we can also do it like this one, na? We can also do it like this one, because when we multiply this value, ultimately we are getting this answer. Yes, we can do that. But here we are talking about the probability. Here what we are doing, we are talking about the probability, and we are discussing probability only. And we know that the maximum probability that we can have is equals to 1. Right? This is a maximum probability that we are having. And when we will see this particular value, this value is greater than 1. This value is greater than 1. So it can't be possible if we are tossing a coin, right? If we are tossing a coin, we know that for a single coin, we are having only two possibilities. We will either get heads or we will get tails. So in normal case, we are having equal probability, right? In normal case or in a journal case, we are having equal probability. So it can't be possible, na, so you can say that, ma'am, the probability of getting hats is by 2 by 1 and the probability of tails is nothing but it's just something like 3 by 8. That's not possible, na, because we know that the maximum probability is equals to 1 only. Is it clear? Okay. Now let's move on. Next question, and let's see what is the next question we are having and how we are going to deal with it. So the next question says that how many arrangements can be formed out of the letters of the word examination so that vowels always occupy odd places? You have to take care of this thing. You have to take care of this thing because this is your what? This is your condition. This is what? This is your condition. Whenever we are having this type of questions now, where we have to like arrange something or we have to select something, first fulfill the condition. After that only just simply arrange the rest cases or the rest elements that you are having. Here you are having a word examination, and what you have to do, you have to arrange it something like that in which all the vowels will occupy the odd places. All the vowels will occupy the odd places. First, you have to calculate how many alphabets we are having. So here we are having 3, 6, 9 and the 11. So basically in the spelling examination, basically we are having 11 letters. We are having 11 letters. Now in these 11 letters, how many vowels we are having? So you can say that here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here we are having 6 vowels, right? Okay. And these vowels are E, A, I, A, I, O, right? So basically here we are having 2 A's and 2 I's, right? Okay. Now the rest 5 are what? Are consonants. Rest 5 are what? Rest 5 are consonants. And they are what? They are X, M, N, T, N. And here we are having 2 N's, right? Okay. Now, question says what? Question says that we have to fulfill this condition where the vowels will occupy only the odd places, okay? So, I'm just making blanks over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. These are what? These are the 11 spaces that we are having. Now, in this one, odd ones are this one. This is the first one, right? I am only writing the odd ones. 5th, 7th, 9th and 11th. Why I am only writing the odd places? Because I know that on these places, I only have to put the vowels. I only have to put vowels over here. Okay. So, how many places I am having? 3 and 3, 6. And how many vowels we are having? 6. So, if I have to find out the number of arrangements, how I can arrange my vowels? I am having 6 places and I am only having 6 vowels. So, I can arrange them in the 6 factorial ways. But I know that here there are 2 A's. So, for that, I have to divide it by 2 factorial. I am having 2I. So, I have to divide it by 2 factorial. This is for the vowels only. But here we have to put the consonants as well. And how many places we are left with for the consonant? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And how many consonants we are having? We are having just 5 consonants. So, we have to multiply this one, and 5 consonants can be arranged in the 5 factorial, but we have to divide it by 2 factorial because we are having 2n over here. So, we just simply divide it by 2 factorial. Is it clear? So, here what we can do, we can just simply write it as 6 into 5 into 4 into 3. I am already eliminated this 2 factorial over here. Into 5 into 4 into 3 and this 2 factorial from this one divided by 2 into 1. There's no significance to write 1 over here. So we can eliminate this one by this one, and here we are getting 2, right? So basically 5 into 2, that is 10, 10 into 2, 30, right? Here we are having, by this term we are getting 30, right? And 30 into 12. So basically here I am having 360. So here I am having 360 into 30. This is what we are having. 20 into 18. We can do this like also like this, that we just simply multiply these number. 5 into 4, that is 20. 20 into 3, that is 60. 60 into 6, that is 360. So when we multiply this one, so here we are getting 108 and these 20. So 10,800, do we have that in our option? Yes, we have that as our option number D. So the correct number of arrangements that we are having in this case is 10,800 arrangements. So we can say that basically 10,800 arrangements are possible for this particular case. Is it clear? Okay. Let's move towards next question. Okay. So the next question says that the ratio of Sanju's and Manu's income is 5:6. If Manu's income is increased by 25%, then his income will be 37,500. What is the income of Sanju? This is a very simple question. All you need to do is first you need to increase the salary or the income of Manus by 25%, and after that you will easily get your value. Here what we are having two persons, Sanju and Manu, right? So here the question says that the income ratio of Sanju and Manu is 5:6, right? But the income of Manu is increased by 25%. Is increased by 25%, right? We know that 25% can be written as 25 by 100, and we can just simply write it as 1 by 4, right? We can just simply write it as 1 by 4, right? Okay. Now, the question says what? Question says that the income of Manu is actually 6 and it is increased by 1. It is increased by 1. So you can do one thing. First you have to just simply find out on which multiplier this value is present. So we can say that 1 is equals to 6 by 4. And here we can do one thing. Here we just simply find out, and here the value is 1.5. So we just simply multiply it by 1.5. We just simply multiply it with the help of 1.5, and here we are getting 1.5, right? So we need to do what? We need to add 6 plus 1.5, and ultimately the new salary of Sanju is 7.5. The new income ratio that we are getting is 7.5. But the question says what? The question says that this is not 7.5. This is actually 37,500. That is actually 37,500. That means it is present on the multiple of 50. That is present on the multiple of 50, right? Now what we have to find out, basically, okay, this is not present on the multiple of 50. Wait. Here it is present on the multiple of 5,000. This is present on the multiple of 5,000, right? Okay. Now what we have to find out? We have to find out the salary of Sanju. So just simply multiply this value by 5,000 and you will get your answer as 25,000. You will get your value as 25,000. That means your option number B is the correct one. Or you can also do it like in some other way. If you don't want to go in the decimal thing, as I'm saying, to avoid it, so you can also do one thing. So here we are having Sanju and here we are having Manu. So the ratio is 5:6, right? I can also consider it as 500 and 600, right? If you are not able to find out the value with the help of fraction, just simply write it like this. We have to increase it by 25%. So we can say that here what we are getting? We are getting 6 into 125, right? This is what we are having. 6 into 5, that is 33 is carry on, 12, 15, 1 is carry on, and here we are having 750. So instead of 600, it will become 750. But the question says that the salary of Manu is not 750, it is actually equals to 37,500, and this value is present on the multiple of 50, right? This value is present on the multiple of 50. So if you have to find out the salary of or the income of Sanju, so you again have to multiply this value by 50. And you will ultimately get the correct answer as 25,000. You will get the value as 25,000. Is it clear? So by this, you can easily able to find out the answers. Let's move towards the next question. And let's see what is the next question we are having and how we are going to deal with that. So the next question says that the ratio of two cylinders are in the ratio 8:13. And the curved surface area of those two cylinders are in the ratio 5:13. Sorry. Now, what is the ratio of their volume? What we have to find out? We have to find out the ratio of their volume. So first you need to take care of the formulas that you need to use in this particular question. First, you have to find out the formula of volume of these two. What is the volume of cylinder? The two formulas that you are going to use in this one is volume of cylinder and the CSI, the curved surface area of cylinder. These are the two formulas that we are going to use for this particular question. First, you have to calculate, first you have to find out the height ratio as well, or the height fraction. After that, you will easily have to find out the ratio in the volumes, ratio of their volume. So basically, the volume of cylinder is nothing but pi r square h, right? And the CSA of the cylinder is 2 pi r h. These are the two formula that you have to use. So if you are having two cylinders, just simply take as R1, R2 and H1, H2, so that you can just simply differentiate all the numbers and all the terms that you are having. Okay, so let's start solving this particular question. So here, as we are having two cylinders, so I can say that the ratio of R1 ratio R2, right, that is given as 8:13. Okay. Now, apart from that, here I am having the curved surface area ratio as well. So CSA of cylinder 1 divided by CSA of curved surface area of cylinder 2. CSA1 cylinder 1, CSA2 cylinder 2, and that is nothing but, so 2 pi R1 H1 divided by 2 pi R2 H2. Is it clear? Okay. So we can just simply eliminate 2 pi over here. The ratio of R1 by R2, if I want to write the ratio over here, R1 upon R2. I can just simply write it as 8 by 13. I can just simply write it as 8 by 13. So here the ratio is given as 5 by 13, and this is nothing but this is equals to the 8 by 13 into H1 upon H2, right? Currently here we are only dealing with H1 just to find out H1 by H2, so that we just simply put the value over here and we can find out the ratio in between the volumes of the cylinder. So we can simply eliminate this 13 and this 13 here. We are getting H1 upon H2 as 5 by 8. We are getting H1 upon H2 as 5 by 8. Okay. Now what we have to do? After finding the ratio in between the heights, we have to deal with the volume of cylinder. So we can say that the volume of cylinder 1 and the volume of cylinder 2. So that can be written as pi R1 square upon into H1 divided by pi R2 square and H2, right? So again we can say that this pi and this pi are eliminated. So here the ratio square that we are having is 8 square into 5 divided by 13 square divided by 8. This is what that we are having, right? So here we can just simply eliminate this 8 by this one. So in numerator we are having 40 and in the denominator we are having 169. Do we have that in our option? Yes. So basically we can say that the option number B is the correct one. We can just simply say that the option number B is the correct one. Is it clear? So whenever we are having the questions from this type, like from the topic of mensuration, the only thing that we need to know is these formula. If we know these formula, we can easily deal with such type of problems. Is that clear? Okay, the next one. So basically, the next question says that by selling a mobile after offering the discount of 25%, a profit of 30% is made. Find the cost price of the mobile if the marked price of the mobile is 7,800. This is a very simple question. All you need to do is you need to find out the cost price. What you need to do? You need to find out the cost price. And we all know that the profit or the loss is always calculated on the cost price, where the discount is always calculated on the marked price, or we can say the MRP. And after both of these operations, we will get our selling price, or we can say the SP. So just use that particular concept and just simply find out the correct answer. Okay, so the question says that what we need to do, we need to find out the cost price. We need to find out the cost price where the MRP is 7800. Okay. So you can do one thing. You can just do one thing. Here you just write CP, SP and the MRP. Right? Here you know that if you just simply assumed 100 is your cost price and you will get a 30% profit and you are getting 30% profit, just your CP will become 130. And you know that you are getting 130 after getting a discount. After getting a discount of 25%. So you know that whatever MRP that you are having, if you sell that price on the multiple of 75 or on 75%, you will get 130. So from this you can easily able to get MRP. you will easily get MRP, that is equals to 3 by 4. So here we are getting like 4 into 130 divided by 3. Basically, this is your MRP. But the question says what? Question says that this is not your MRP. Basically, your MRP is nothing but 7,800. Your MRP is nothing but 7,800. So basically, what you need to do, you need to find out the exact answer. So you just simply eliminate this 1 0 and this 1 0 from this side, which is already eliminated. So I'm just eliminating it over here. Now, what you just simply do here, just to get the MRP, you just simply write it like this: 780 into 3. Right? This is what that you are getting, and after that what you will get? You will get the value of 1, right? And just simply multiply that value with this one, and ultimately you will get your cost price. This is the first method that you can do. If you don't want to do all these calculations, so you just simply do this thing. You know that this is the MRP, and what you need to do? You need to calculate your cost price. So first, just simply calculate selling price. You know that you are giving a discount of, 25%. That means you are selling your product on 75% value. So the 75% value of this one. What we need to do now, we need to eliminate it, or we can do one thing also. We just simply eliminate 2 zeros and 2 zeros from here. So when we are going to divide it, so here we are getting 1, 3, 38, 36, 9 and 250. Now we have to multiply 1950 into 3. So here we are getting 0, 15, 1 is carry forward, 8, 2 is carry forward. Basically, the SP is nothing but 5,850. But this is the 130% of the cost price, because you know that when you sell on this amount, you will get 5,850. So basically, the CP is 5850 into 10 divided by 13. So we can eliminate it with the help of 13, and ultimately 45 and here 2 zeros. So basically the cost price of this particular mobile phone is nothing but 4,500. That means your option number D is the correct one. Option number D is the correct one. So you can just follow either method. If you are comfortable in this one, so you can follow this one. If you are comfortable with this one, you can also follow this one. But the only thing that you need to keep in your mind is, whenever we are talking about profit or loss, it is always calculated on cost price until unless something specific is not given in the question. And discount is always given or always calculated on the MRP, or we can say the marked price. Is it clear? Okay. So here we are having one more question over here, but this is for your homework, or we can say this is your practice homework. You have to solve this particular question by your own, and you have to do what? You have to solve this particular question. Although this question is very easy. All you have to do is, you have to use the concept of average. So the question says that the average age of the students in a class is 40 years, and if a student whose age was 30 years is absent from the class, then the average age of those students who were present goes up by 2. That means the average is increased by 2. How many students were there in the class? What we need to do? We need to find out how many students were there in the class. This is a very easy question. all you need to do is you need to use the concept of average. And we know that the average says that average is nothing but sum of all the sum of all observations divided by the number of observations. And I need your answers in the comment section, right? I need your answers in the comment section. You are having your options. All you need to do is just simply solve this particular question and you will get your answer, right? This is a very simple question. You have to use this particular concept to find out the correct answer. Here I am having few more questions for your homework. Again, this question is for your homework. This is from the concept of number series. You have to detect the pattern which is hidden over here. And with that, what you need to do? You need to find out the value of this question mark. What you need to do? You need to find out the value of this particular question mark. Is it clear? Here, one more question. Here you are having your question mark, and what you need to do? You need to find out the correct answer. And the last one, right? So basically you are having 4 questions in your homework, and what you need to do, you need to solve all these 4 questions. And whatever answer is coming, just simply write all your answers in the comment section. I am going to check all your answers whether you are getting the correct answer or not. If you are not able to find out the correct answer or the correct pattern, just simply comment it in the comment section so that I'll just provide you the solutions of these particular questions. Is it clear? So with this one, let's end this session here only. Please do more and more practice. All the very best from our side for your examination. And we'll meet in some other session. Till then, keep smiling, stay safe, bye-bye. Thank you so much for watching this video.